Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday Mull for Saturday the 10th of April, the last Midday Mull before I go on holiday for 2 weeks. And today we're reading Leviticus chapter 14, which is a whole lot of regulations about cleansing after disease or any kind of uncleanness. It begins, the Lord said to Moses, "These are the regulations for any diseased person at the time of their ceremonial cleansing when they are brought to the priest." And then it goes on about the offerings that you had to bring to once a person had been cleansed and healed, and how you were to do that. And then it continues with molds in houses. He says, if there's a spreading mold in a house when you get into the promised land, the owner of the house must go and tell the priest, "I've seen something that looks like a defiling mold in my house." And the priest must come and look and check whether it spreads. And if it is spreading, chop out the stones and scrape down the house and put new stones in, replaster it and check if it goes away. And once it's cleansed, there's offerings you must bring, and bring these offerings for the cleansing of the house. And what struck me was that, as I read through that, just that there was no distinction between the physical and the spiritual, that certain things are merely physical, material, and other things are spiritual. That's a Western construct. And I don't see that in the scripture. According to this, everything was spiritual. And if you had sinned by cursing your neighbor, or whether you'd had been cleansed from a disease, or whether your house had a mold in it that had been cleansed, all of them had a spiritual dimension and needed certain offerings to be made. And what that says to me is that God is interested in all our life. There's no part of our life that God has no interest in. He doesn't look at us and say, "Oh, they're having a quiet time, I'll pay attention now. They're off to the shops. Okay, well, they're off on their own business. I'll forget about them." No, God's interested in every single part of our life. And we need to remember that. And everything that we're struggling with, we can take to Him in prayer. And we so often think, "Oh, I'm struggling with sin. I need to stop swearing. That's something, and I'll pray about that." But when I'm struggling to understand the mathematics that I'm studying, that's not a spiritual issue. That's an intellectual, academic issue. And as I read through this part of Leviticus, I think, no, it's all a spiritual thing. And God is interested in all of it. And God can help us with all of it. And we need to remember that. And so as you go through your life, know that God is interested in every part of it. He's interested in you when you're sleeping. He's interested in you when you're having your quiet time and praying. He's interested in you at the dinner table, as you go shopping, as you go for a walk, as you have coffee with friends. All of life is held in God's hands, and all of life is spiritual. So know that and rejoice in it, that everything we do, God is with us. And whatever we're struggling with, God is interested in, and we can take to Him in prayer. So know that, be encouraged by it, and be blessed. And just a final reminder again, there'll be a hiatus with Midday Mulls now picking up again on about the 26th of April. So in the meanwhile, be encouraged, be strengthened, and know that God is with you.